Hi, my name's Tracie Wayling from See Here Fear Love. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. And if you're new to this channel, I would highly recommend that you catch up with some of the previous videos first, as this one isn't a usual one. The painting itself isn't even the important part. It was a flash image. It was a knowing. There was like a sense of urgency to just get this image down, and rather than sketching, I went straight to paint. Grabbed the first piece of paper, which I knew as soon as I sat down with it that it was the wrong kind of paper for what I was going to be doing, and warps like so easily and creases and stuff. But it didn't matter. I didn't want to stop. I just needed to get this down. So ignore the condition it ends up in. The important part is what happened when I sat down to make an audio to go with it. I had this sudden in my ear, make a wish. Now I already know, wishes. My gosh, how many things could people wish for? So much. How many things have we wished for over our lives? Again, there was this, make one wish. So I sat and I thought and I spoke, and the mic was still running. And I basically said, if I had a wish, obviously it would be for my kids to be happy and healthy and all the rest. I said, but I know about wishes and I know how life works. I also know they have their own paths and their own experiences and reasons and all the rest of it. So it's not really a wish that I could ever make come true. It might coincide, but won't have anything to do with the wish itself, if that makes sense. So I said, if I had one wish at this point in time, I think it would be for the clearest connection ever. Now, as you know, I've always had a pretty clear connection throughout my life. We get shown certain things at certain times, and when you're ready for the next bit, and they never give you more than you can handle. And the one thing I've noticed over that time is you never get all the answers until you actually ask the right questions. Or rather, if you ask the right questions, you're ready to hear the answer. And that's the same through life. That's the same with everyone. It's the same when we're kids. As kids will ask questions and you give them an age-appropriate answer, a way that they can understand and make sense to them so that they can carry on to the next step with that knowledge. And it's no different for all of us. So, my wish was for this. It just felt right that now is the time for an extra clear connection, because that will help me know what to do, when, how, what path, less questions, less wondering whether I'm doing the right thing or not, less time wasted. I know I just got to be able to get on with things now. So I sat here and I said, that's my wish, is the stronger connection, because with that will come more answers and more ways of applying. So the connection. And loud and clear I got, right answer. Now that was stunning to me, because in all my life, no one has ever said right or wrong answer. It was always the right question at the right time for the right reasons, with the right knowledge. It's the first time I've ever been actually told right answer verbally. And that was it. I just sat here thinking to myself, that'd be really good. And I was just going over it in my head, all the different ways that would help. And I still had a run of questions going through my head of what to do next. And then I carried on where I left off, and I went to the mic. I'd already had planned what I was going to say for this video. Instead, I haven't channeled for a long time. I don't do it very often. It just tends to happen. But this time, while the mic was running, I channeled, and it started off with, listen well, my friends. I mean, it was just talking and talking and talking. And although it was to everyone, it was obviously to me on a personal level too, because in parts they confirmed certain things that had happened with me on a personal level, which may not have happened for everyone else, but they may have. but it's important for me to say that. But I didn't want to chop it up into pieces, so I wrote everything down as it was, and then I relayed the exact wording coming up in a moment. After that, I had my own questions and answers. As you can imagine, as probably many of you listening will have your own questions, I just continued to be blown away by what I was being given. And a very interesting video. I'm still asking questions. I still have a ton of thoughts running through my head. There's still so much more. But for now, this was it. This is what I needed to know. Obviously, making this audio is a part of that for what will become very obvious reasons. I have no idea what you'll make of it, but there we go. So let's get started. Everyone's important. Listen well, my friends. It is time to prepare for what is going to happen, what you need to know, what you are going to experience, what you are going to do, what you have been working towards, what we have all been working towards for so many years, many lifetimes, millions of lifetimes. It is all gathered knowledge. All that knowledge is stored. Awakening. All that knowledge, all the confirmations, everything. You have all helped to manifest the new birth. You are all creators, and the whole point of you having no memories, or most people having no memories, is to experience for the experience itself, from brand new, fresh perspectives on all different subjects, areas, ways, lives, situations. All of those have been gathered to find what works, what doesn't. We're working towards perfection, and we are almost there. The next stage. The red sky. It is a vision many of you will see. Not all of you, and not all at once. Those who are ready, those who are here for this purpose. You are here to help others. Have you ever always known in your heart you are here for a bigger purpose? This is the bigger purpose. For some known as first wavers have already been hit as you have. You've had little tasters, little preparations, changes to absorb. You've already part experienced what you will feel again, and that was the lightness. How you felt when you were walking home a few months ago, and you were walking across the courtyard and stopped in your tracks, as you suddenly felt really light, and like you were separating into two. It lasted about 10 seconds, and you stopped yourself, unsure of what was happening. You didn't know if separating meant your body would collapse. It wouldn't have been like that at all. You were literally becoming two. Part of you is already there and waiting. For those who will see the signs, the red sky, the yellow and green clouds, something so opposite of what you see now, you will be able to see it because of the changes in your DNA. Not everyone will. When it happens, you will feel that lightness again. And what causes that lightness is the particles. All those particles in your body, as you know, they are not solid. They are just mass, just together. If you imagine each of those particles separating just a fraction, which allows what is outside of your mass to pass through you, you become transparent, not visually, but it is how you change. And that is what you need to be ready to be transported. Others will feel it too. They won't understand. They won't know what's going on. Some will collapse or faint because it will be overwhelming. The ones who have no knowledge and haven't yet caught up with the information you have, all of you, all the ones who are here for this reason, you will help these people. You will become different. What they will see is light coming from you as your particles separate. They will see you. Some will run, but not many. Most will just know and see this for what it is. Something amazing, magical and wondrous. You must spend that time as you feel lighter, There will be a couple of days where you must gather as many people as possible. You already had dreams about this. You've been shown examples. You've seen in your dream, it was shown as the classroom, the cafeteria, how some didn't understand and some did, how most didn't understand how to connect, including yourself for a moment. But then it just happened. And that is what you need to gather people is for. We don't mean to gather to hurt them. It just means letting them see you, being near them, smile at them, walk past as many people as you can, talk to people, say hello, introduce yourself, tell them your name. They'll look you up, they'll see. Because just how you are shown to look up your masculine self, your twin flame, they will have that similar feeling of knowing there is something about you that they need to know. That is why we started you on this path when we did, preparing. And of course this isn't just you, this is all of you that have been set on your paths in your different areas, in your different ways of communicating with different people. There are far more of you than you realise. People living across the road from you. You'll all recognise each other when the time comes, and it is the same worldwide. Not many know about each other. They know they're there, but they don't necessarily know who. But they will when that time comes. But each person has had their own job, their own way of communicating, their own way of drawing people to them, their own way of getting messages across. There are so many different ways of thinking and so many different kinds of lives, which of course is part of the bigger picture as needed to be. The whole point was that everyone was different. But in those differences, some will communicate with some will communicate with others, and so on and so forth. Between you will attract as many as possible. You will share a part of you without them even knowing how you did. It will be a feeling they get. The moment they get that feeling, they'll start questioning. The moment they start questioning is the moment they will be open enough themselves to know to trust after those 2 days, when they will see their own signs, in their own ways. The new earth you have all been manifesting is almost ready. All the things you all found wondrous, all the things that caused the higher frequencies and vibrations, they will all be in place. All your wishes, your thoughts, your desires. Things like when you had thoughts, I wish I could fly. Well, of course, in astral you can, but you understand that's not the same. Still a part of each of you is experienced. Or the ones who thought our life would improve by having that kind of freedom. As much as you need your physical bodies for different senses, and that's what your bodies are for, to feel things in every possible way. This is not just humans. This is animals too. Animals are no different. Experiencing 2 legs, 4 legs, wings, everything, all of it. And all the good things you've all been wishing for. That's the wrong word. The realizations is a better word. The things you have given good thought about, along with your experiences. When you said, it would really help if we could do this. It would really help if we could do that. Wouldn't it be great if we had this ability or that ability? That would be awesome. It is that kind of thing that has all been gathered and all been put together, been thought, been built on, and is being manifested. The lower frequency beings will stay here. It won't be any better or worse than it is now, but they will learn. It is only a few who really did forget, or rather dismissed, what they are here for and see themselves as completely separate. Knowing what they are, don't misunderstand, need to be clearer, meaning they know source, they know everyone is connected, but these are the ones that pulled away, believing themselves to be capable of changing source and becoming a source themselves as a separate energy, and that would just continue destruction. There is a difference there, and they will experience a lot, but they are very, very few. We're not talking about people in general. This isn't even about half the politicians. This is about a handful behind the scenes who direct and control the politicians be it through blackmail, promises, all sorts of reasons. Sincerity is the key, as we've told you before. Some of them who may appear bad were sincere in their hearts. They were just going the wrong way about what it was they wanted to achieve. Then there are others who are incredibly sincere, but it's the behind scenes, the ones you never see, many you've never even heard of, and they stay that way to protect themselves. But they are the most powerful in a very negative way. Everything will be of their own doing. They will destroy themselves. It's not something that we will do. It is quite literally what they will do to themselves. So what do you need to prepare? Not much. Parts of you will be activated when the time comes, so there's really nothing to worry about. But in the meantime, you can help yourself by paying attention to everything you see, hear, feel, sense. Pay attention to the energy that's around you. Don't dismiss what you feel. And if you feel any strange experiences, if your body feels strange at any given moment or weird things seem to be happening, don't worry about it. Check your reaction and know that you will likely feel it again, but this time you'll be more prepared and can just go with the flow. It's almost time. We've worked hard. Well done you. Get ready. Fun's about to really begin.